4 off the block. I'm Vinny Lopes, and we are now joined by Ohio State men's volleyball coach Pete Hanson as his team is preparing for the upcoming NCAA tournament. And Coach, I have to ask you, the seeds were unveiled this weekend. You're the number 1 overall seed. What was your reaction, your team's reaction, when you saw that you got the top seed?
Well, the guys were pretty excited. I think it was a nice confirmation of the type of season that they had. It was a long year. They won some nice matches. I think clearly the head-to-head with Long Beach probably swayed it our direction, and it was nice that Long Beach decided to come out and play that match, and I guess it worked in our favor. So we're excited, but I mean we would have probably approached the tournament the same way if we'd been the 2 or the 3 or the 4 or 5 or 6. You're going to have to beat some good teams to win a championship.
Well, talking about the tournament, we're a little bit of ways where you have about a week and a half before your first match. So what's going to be the focus in practice this week for you guys?
Well, the focus right now is we've given them a couple of days off. We're just starting finals. They start tomorrow, so the guys are taking some tests Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even Monday. So kind of getting them through that, as well as I think just kind of maintaining contact with the volleyball, working on serving and passing, probably some offensive stuff to try to stay in some rhythm. Nothing too crazy. I think at this juncture it's about staying fresh, staying healthy, and once we kind of get through finals and we get that component off of our plate, I think the guys will be pretty fresh mentally as well.
Yeah, I do want to ask this time of year, because, every single year it seems like you guys are recognized for your not only on-court accomplishments, but your academic accomplishments. How nice is that as a coach for you to see your players excel in the classroom?
Well, it's really nice, Vinny. We actively try to recruit those types of kids that are not only good volleyball players, but good students, and clearly that is more of the norm with the men's college volleyball players. Most of these young men that are playing the sport are good academic students, and it is a really nice reflection on the program, and more so on just each individual in terms of what they accomplished. But we got some great young men, and they've done a great job in the classroom, and I think that makes the on the court stuff just kind of that much easier to deal with when you're not having to worry about the academic component.
And Coach, traditionally in the college men's volleyball season, you're playing a match or at least 2 matches every single week. This week, in essence, is a bye week. What has been your experiences or some of the challenges for teams coming off of a bye week in that first match after the bye?
Well, I think sometimes it just takes you a little while to get back into that rhythm. We kind of had that scenario last year where we were the play-in match with George Mason, and we started out well in that first set, and then we kind of let it slip through our fingers, and we were down 1-0, and then we kind of hit our stride in sets 2, 3, and 4, and got better as the match went on. So I think there's always that that thing that you might be a little bit worried about. Yeah, you do have kind of the routine of you're playing every weekend, and if you miss it, how quickly do you fall out of that rhythm? But I don't know if it's anything that you can predict, Vinny, or just really prepare for. I think you just have to kind of understand it, and I think the kids have to know that it probably won't take very long before they get back into that rhythm and get it going again.
And Coach, to get to the NCAA tournament, you clinched the automatic bid for the MIVA by winning the conference tournament. I want to ask you, in those 3 matches, what did you see as one of the biggest strengths of your team in those 3 matches? And then conversely, what do you feel is one thing that you want to shore up a little bit going into the NCAA tournament?
Well, I thought our biggest strength was, I guess, just that we kind of got through the adversity of the semifinal match with Ball State, where we were up early, and then Ball State really started playing really good volleyball in sets numbers 3 and 4, and found ways to win, and we didn't perform quite at the level that we were I think what happened was the kids and really nobody within the program panicked. I thought we felt like if we could just start to make some plays and at least get it tied up before it got out of control, that we'd be in a good spot. And we had a young man go in, Sunil Thomas, and serve some balls and make some plays. We got it to 8-8, and after that, I think once we got it to 8-8, then our senior mentality, our experience took over, and I think the guys felt confident that, hey, now we're at least back level and we can make some plays and win this thing, and they did. And so I think that was probably the one takeaway from those three matches is that, hey, we didn't play great volleyball, but we found a way to win. I thought the Saturday night match against Grand Canyon was really more about, we had a chance to kind of come out and impose our will on a team, and ultimately we did that. We had a little bit of a mishap there in the middle of set number 2. Grand Canyon got a couple of points, got the lead. We fought back and then kind of made some plays, and then set 3, Miles took over from the service line, and I think that was that kind of reinforced to us and to the guys, hey, this is what we're about. This is how we, deal with teams, is that we try to bring service pressure, and that helps us in some other phases of our game. And it was nice to see it kind of end like that. That's what we're going to talk about a lot as we move forward into this tournament.
Yeah. Now, with this tournament, it's being at home. I want to ask, what's the biggest difference you've experienced or you feel is going to be for your team hosting the event as opposed to going on the road and, playing on location for the NCAA tournament?
Well, gosh, Vinny, I don't know, because I've never experienced playing in the NCAAs here in St. John Arena, so this will be the first time for me as well. I'd like to think that it's going to be easier on us in terms of the surrounding. It's going to hopefully be a good crowd for us to help keep the guys, kind of energized and things like that. I'm thinking that we can kind of control the stuff outside of volleyball. We're hopefully we can manage that. But I think just the fact that we don't have to travel and just deal with all of the all of that type of stuff, which just takes sometimes a full day to get through that when you're traveling a long distance, like either Hawaii or Long Beach or BYU. Traveling's not easy, and it's just nice that we don't have to deal with that.
And Coach, one final question before we let you go. I know that you're primarily focused on your team, but do want to ask, because we know you're going to be playing either Penn State or Hawaii in the semifinals. Know you're familiar with Penn State because you played them twice in the regular season. Didn't play Hawaii this year, but what have you seen from the two teams, either in film or in person?
Well, clearly Penn State, we've got a pretty good book on those guys, and the nice thing for them is that they're starting to get their important guys are healthy again. Chris Nugent's back, and he's kind of the guy that drives the bus for them, and you've got to do a good job with Chris, and which one of their opposites is going to play. It could be one or both of them, and they're both different. One's right-handed, one's left-handed, and we'll kind of figure out how to deal with that if that's who we're playing. I think with Hawaii, it just sounds like they're a pretty similar team to us in that they create some service pressure. That they've got some guys that can do some things from the end line. Clearly they've got an All-American candidate at opposite. They've got an All-American candidate at setter. And then I think their left side, Caponos, had a great year as a senior. And, so I think they're pretty balanced, and we'll just have to make sure that we know where those guys are at all times. But, we've got a good defensive coach, and he'll watch a lot of film. He'll come up with a plan, and, we'll see if we can do the best with whoever the opponent is.